2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yo guys, Josh here, and yes, today's video is going to be a kind of an old myth that I kind of want to discuss now that obviously Zombie Chronicles has Shangri-La, and I can go theater mode. Basically, we're going to look at the loading screen first. Now, the loading screen for Black Ops 1, Shiunuma, there really isn't too much to discuss. It's pretty much the exact same thing. So as we move on to the Black Ops 3 loading screen of Shangri-La, you can see it's a bit brighter. The contrast is a little darker. I don't know if you can see it as clearly because I took like the snapshot when it was like transitioning, but at the top under Shangri-La it says unknown mountain range. Now I don't know if this is a reference or kind of a hidden little Easter egg to maybe it being on Mars. The other thing on the loading screen is behind the tornado, you see that wall that's like a giant red wall. I don't know if that's also referencing the hills or the mountains on Mars. The temple and the other stuff is kind of fine. That tornado is kind of a red tornado with lightning, and again, that could be maybe the references on Mars, but I don't think can be tornadoes on Mars because the atmosphere on Mars is not that much. Like you see up there, the eclipse, stuff like that. Now, Mars does have 2 moons. I just looked that up now just so I didn't like look kind of funny, like if I was wrong or something like that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that on Mars there can be a solar eclipse. Now again, like I said, I'm not like an astronomer or anything like that, so I don't know if that's really possible, if that could actually happen. Alright, so now let's get into the actual footage. Now, let me just say, I filmed this like 10 minutes ago, and I felt like filming this again because I just had like an epiphany of like, oh my goodness, I just figured something out. You'll soon see what I mean by that. And P.S. Shangri-La is on Mars. A little P.S. there. Here's why. You'll soon see why I came to this conclusion of it. So first, obviously the first thing I did was I started going around the map. Oh, and P.S. if you're wondering how I did this, I followed a tutorial online, and that is basically what you're going to want to do is you want to place lights and put them on max in a small area, and the game will reboot. And after the theater mode clip reboots again, you'll be able to actually fly out of bounds and go like what I'm doing now, go out of the map and view stuff, sort of like this. So basically, I just wanted to look around the entire map to see if there's any conclusive clues that I could find. Oh, another quick thing, if you guys want me to do this type of video where I no clip, where I go in theater mode and I look outside of the map or under the map for anything hidden, that would actually be a cool little mini series to do, like out of bounds secrets on like Origins or the Giant or something like that. So that's always another option to go. So on Shangri-La, normally not during the eclipse, there really is not much evidence to prove that this is on Mars at all, because obviously Mars does not have vegetation, it does not have trees, it does not have weeds, it does not have grass. It can't sustain any actual organism, plant, animal, bug, human, well, of what we know so far, because we don't know that yet. The Mars rover or whatever's on Mars right now could find something or something like that. So then I'm like, all right, part 2, yeah, if you have anxiety like me, do never look down into abyss, because that just made my anxiety go. But these boxes here, I finally figured out what they are. These are unused teleporter rooms that were supposed to be in Shangri-La but never happened. This here I finally figured out after editing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is that barrier in the minecart area, like right off where trip mines are on the wall from the power room going down. So I'm like, oh my goodness, there it is. Yeah, that looking straight down there, my anxiety, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, no, I'm like, not happening.
You also notice a lot of things like that. The contrast seems to change in specific areas of the map. Like, look, right there got dark. I'm not sure exactly why that happened. Yeah. So, yeah, during the day, there is almost no physical proof to really base off of that this is on Mars. Yes, there are giant mountains in the background like that, big mountain range, which technically that could be Mars because of those mountain range are pretty big and they look like a lot of them around, but you never know. The loading screen said unknown mountain range, so what could that mean? It could mean anything. Also, the other thing that's kind of weird is the red color. If you notice, the normal, like not this contrast, but the normal contrast is like a red tint. This was very convincing. Red rocks. I don't know if the Treyarch left this in here as an Easter egg. There's red rocks specifically around specific areas, like there. I didn't have anything on to be highlighted, so there would be no need for those to be highlighted. It's really weird because look at you get close and it disappears. I'm like, okay, is that a Mars reference or something? So now we get to what took me 3.5 days to get, and that is eclipse footage. Now, right now, I'm about to blow your all minds. So basically, we all know that Mars has 2 moons. But here's the thing you probably didn't know. Both of Mars's moons were actually giant meteorites or asteroids. Again, I'm not like I'm not an like a guy who knows about space and stuff like that, so I don't know what the difference is. But ladies and gentlemen, we all know that in real life both of Mars's moons are like meteoroids or asteroids. They are not round. They're not perfectly round because they're meteorites or asteroids going through space. So this right here really conclusively proves that this might actually be Mars. We might actually be on Mars because let's face it, the moon, we already looked at the moon in the daytime, or there is no moon in the daytime in Shangri-La, so there's nothing to compare it with. And obviously, when you look at the moon, which I think it might throw a clip in right here of the moon on like another zombies map, it looks round. It looks spherical. It looks perfectly round. And you look up at here, and it isn't perfectly round. It's like a meteorite or a giant asteroid. Again, I don't know the difference. I'm not like a science or not a space guy and stuff like that. So I think with the hidden red rocks when zoomed out, the moon that's causing the solar eclipse that obviously looks like a giant rock, which Mars has 2 moons that are both giant meteorites and or / asteroids. So there's also giant mountain ranges here, and during the day it is a really red tint. So ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I do believe that Shangri-La is on Mars. Yes, I know. In real life, Shangri-La would never be on Mars because there's no vegetation. But let's just say, because of in Black Ops 4, alternate universes, parallel things, the ether, and all that stuff. Let's just say this all was good and stuff could grow on Mars. And I do believe Shangri-La is on Mars. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. And there you go. And just like always, hey.
What are you guys doing here still? Video's over. It's done. Can't you tell because of all the picture frames right there? Oh, there, showing that stuff. Alright.